Hi, everybody. This is June 25th, 2025. And first of all, I have to say this is the 81st anniversary of my uncle Kevin Kierans, then Lieutenant Kevin Kierans 22, landing on the beaches of Normandy as reinforcement for the D-Day soldiers from his company, which was, or his regiment, which was the North Shore, New Brunswick Regiment. And Uncle Kevin spent the next year fighting his way across, next year and 2 months, fighting his way across Europe. And he was wounded twice. And I was thinking about them this morning as I went into court for the conclusion of my appeal of this 3.5-year odyssey of trying to restore the rights of my little brother who died, and then to have me declared a vexatious litigant, take away all of my rights and put me in jeopardy. I have a medical condition where I'm not allowed to be in court for longer than 2 hours at a time, and the judge went on 2 full days after I complained. I said I can't be here for longer than 2 hours. I had a certificate saying that, and she went ahead. And even though the person that the government, British Columbia New Democratic Party government, with David Eby as leader, appointed my 82-year-old Catholic nun sister 4,000 kilometers away in Ontario as my little brother's guardian. And then when she found out in April of 2024 that she was being investigated for what I alleged to be a fraudulent forged power of attorney that she was relying on, she found out, and she applied to have me declared a vexatious litigant, which means that I can't defend myself in court. I can't file any documents or an affidavit without leave of the court. And so I can't defend myself, and I can't go after anybody. So we had the hearing this morning. It only went for an hour, and I think it went okay. I did the best that I could, and the gist of what I was saying is that the Catholic Church has spent about $1.5 million. They've had 3 law firms working on this round the clock. Although you wouldn't see that today. They had one low-level little lawyer there today, and my sister wasn't there. But long story short, the update is that the 3 judges at about 11 o'clock this morning reserved judgment. And that means that they are going to wait and they're going to think about it. It can be, there's no time limit on how long it will take. So it could be tomorrow, or it could be 2 years from now. I hope, I hope it's obviously in my favor, because it really, you can imagine having been a lawyer for 23 years, or just being a human being and having your rights restricted where you can't file an affidavit without permission from the court. I did nothing wrong. All I wanted to do was visit my brother. And the objective of this vexatious litigant designation against me is to make me an uncredible witness regarding my brother's care and his treatment by the government of British Columbia. And all of this litigation against me was paid for by the Catholic Church. I didn't even name my sister as a defendant in my litigation to be the guardian of my brother. She inserted herself in this litigation with this fraudulent and forged power of attorney. So the update is, thank you so much, everybody. In particular, I want to thank Paul Lambert, the Conservative Party of Canada candidate for Coquitlam Port Moody that I worked for in this last election, who I'll work for again, hopefully as soon as possible, who came down and he supported me. He sat in the gallery through 2 days of litigation. And also my other Conservative Party of Canada candidate friend, Heather Campbell, and my Conservative Party British Columbia friend and comrade, Laurel Gingrich. So thank you, everybody. I hope you watched online. It really makes a difference. The judges take note of the interest from the community. Like I said, in the case, we're going to make history with this case, that nobody will ever be sanctioned for trying to visit their little brother the way that I was. I was tormented, tortured, and sanctioned for just all I wanted to do was visit my little brother, as I had for 64 years. And it was a part of a cover-up of a fraudulent. It all started with fraudulent and forged power of attorney. They just admitted it. They said, "Oh, we made a mistake. We didn't know how to do things properly." Then no harm, no foul. But it's the cover-up that always causes the worst damage and is the worst crime. And the cover-up was to confine Paul and isolate him to his group home, away from me, his last surviving local family member, for 588 days before he died alone at Burnaby Hospital. And then to go after me, a person with heart condition, other serious medical conditions, and have me declared a vexatious litigant in my absence. So it's every protection of the rule of law was stripped of me and my brother in this litigation, and this case will make history in finding that the court order finding me a vexatious litigant to be reprehensible, and no judge will ever do it again or be allowed to do it again. So those are the last word is that to update on this case, this odyssey, this journey, which took a lot of courage and dedication on my part. I felt that Paul, my dear, sweet, wonderful brother, was looking down on me from heaven. And pray to God, keep on praying that to give good judgment to these wonderful judges who sat. They were very polite, very helpful. They asked the right questions, and they were very respectful and dignified. So I want to thank Justices Riley, Butler, and Gomery, because it was I think it was a fair hearing. I don't know what the judgment is going to be. I hope they've set aside my designation of being a vexatious litigant. Anyways, that's it for today. Thank you so much for all your love and support. I love you all.